Coming up in Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members safeguard the homeless in Kaohsiung. Also in Taiwan, we learn where to go for delicious vegetarian food in Tainan. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. In Taiwan, to ensure the homeless are kept warm this winter, Tzu Chi volunteers and TIMA members in Kaohsiung mobilized to deliver jackets and other practical supplies to them. More so, the volunteers also delivered hot meals to warm their hearts.
袜子，还有苹果跟橘子。
In Kaohsiung, these volunteers double-check their aid supplies for the homeless, including futons, mosquito nets, sleeping bags, mosquito coils, and jackets.
We know their sizes because we conducted preliminary visitations.
要怎么样的尺寸？
In addition, the volunteers also prepared hot meals. After that, the volunteers and TIMA members divided into teams to visit the homeless.
พี่แอมจะเปิ้ลเมย์อ้วใช่ป่ะฮะ
现在天气较冷吼，咧血压嘛悬吼，拢爱小可注意一下呢。
Then the volunteers came upon an ill homeless man. After the TIMA volunteers' assessment, they called an ambulance to take him to the hospital. Visiting another homeless man, the volunteers hand him hot meal and set up a mosquito net for him. Treating those in need like their own family, the volunteers have also warmed up their hearts during the fierce winter.
Also about delivering love to those in need, but moving to China, Tzu Chi's winter aid distribution for needy residents continues as the most recent event took place in Hubei's DaAi County. During the distribution, volunteers also took the opportunity to teach the children who came to the event how to practice environmental conservation. On this end, volunteers are leading the children in a song and dance. On the other end, TIMA members are hosting a free clinic. This is the fourth year Tzu Chi Foundation is hosting a winter aid distribution in DaAi County. A total of 685 families from Fengdian and Gaodian townships are receiving the much-needed supplies at this annual reunion. While the adults wait to receive their supplies, the volunteers educate the children on ways to protect the environment. It's not easy to carry the heavy winter aid supplies home, which includes 30 kilos of rice, daily necessities, cooking oil, and winter clothes. However, knowing this aid was prepared with love, the recipients see the heavy load as blessings. After the distribution event, volunteers also conduct a few home visitations. First, they visit Dong Wenju, who suffers from muscular dystrophy. To motivate the 30-year-old to be more active, volunteers give him a charm to encourage him. While talking with Dong's mother, volunteers commend her for a job well done. Afterwards, the volunteers visit solitary senior Zhao Jinju, who is hard of hearing. Despite the communication barrier, the volunteers show their compassion and kindness by helping the senior put on her Tzu Chi winter coat. In return, the senior sees the volunteers off at her door, showing her gratitude for their love and care. More on Tzu Chi's winter relief distribution in China. However, this report takes place in Guangdong province. Altogether, 331 families in the Dananshan area received both rice and daily necessities from Tzu Chi to get them through the cold months ahead. Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Luanqiang also encouraged the locals to help those in need.
Over 50 volunteers from Guangdong went to Dananshan for winter aid distribution. This was the first time that Tzu Chi volunteers ever held any distribution there. With so many people, they easily brought the relief supplies to the venue.
Because we have rehearsed it before, we can do everything today with ease. It will unite us and invite more people to join us.
A villager, Cai Songde, makes the distribution possible. He has participated in the winter distribution before and hoped Tzu Chi would come to help his hometown.
The town's mayor liked to see it happen, as we should do a good deed for our villagers.
When I gave those supplies to the villagers, I was feeling very touched.
是一份也有一份感动的心，
感恩。
Every family receives rice and daily supplies. Tzu Chi volunteers also console them to enrich their spirits. Tzu Chi volunteer Huang Luanxiang also invited the locals to be volunteers.
我们是不是要做一个手心向下的人，然后穿一件？
I told them they could also give. They could wear volunteer vests and offer help. So 4 to 5 of them came forward to help.
Jiang Qinggao, a secondary school student, came to receive rice, but he too also decided to volunteer.
If we help them, they will also be very happy, and we'll be happy too. If we can help each other, society will become more harmonious.
Tainan is an old town, and the people here are simple. After receiving goods, they can enjoy the Chinese New Year filled with warmth.
Last week, we reported on 2 brothers from Xiamen, China, who suffers from a rare congenital blood disorder, antithrombin 3 deficiency, which causes deep vein thrombosis and ulcers. Now, thanks to a medical collaboration between Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital and Xiamen 5th Hospital, the brothers from China finally had a chance to get the treatment they needed to live a normal life. Getting off the shuttle bus at the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, the Su brothers from Xiamen, China, have come to Taiwan in hopes of curing the chronic ulcers on their legs caused by a congenital disorder.
We couldn't find a cure. My mother took us everywhere to find a doctor to help. Today, she would hear of a good doctor, then we would go there. The next day, someone else would recommend someone, and we would go there. We went all over Xiamen looking for a doctor to help us, but came up empty-handed.
Both Su brothers suffer from congenital blood clotting deficiency, which caused deep vein thrombosis in the lower body. The built-up pressure in the veins have affected the skin and caused chronic venous ulcers. For a hospital with no clinical experience in such a problem, doctors often recommend amputation as treatment.
The Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital has many successful cases of patients who experience blackening of the skin due to deep vein thrombosis and chronic venous ulcers. We believe we have the ability to help these brothers.
After an ultrasound, a CT scan, and various other examinations, the team has come up with a surgical plan to help the Su brothers.
We assess the thrombosis and swelling to make sure we know where the blocked artery is located at. After the blood clot is removed, blood circulation will return, and the venous hypertension would be relieved. Thus, the ulcer should begin to heal.
Looking for the root cause of the problem, the medical team here at Tzu Chi hopes to use the findings from this case to further help others who may suffer from the same rare antithrombin deficiency in the future. Meanwhile, the Xiamen 5th Hospital especially sent a doctor from the interventional radiology department to observe and learn from the Su brothers' surgery.
The ulcer was quite deep and large. His arterial veins above the ulcer were affected, not just the section below the ulcer.
Under the assistance of an ultrasound imaging, the medical team put in a stent to help the blood flow once more. Before the surgery, there were many small clots that blocked the bloodstream. However, after they were cleared away, blood circulation returned.
Immediately upon completion of the surgery, blood flow returned to the toes, and the varicose veins weren't as evident. The pressure in their veins was slowly relieved.
The surgery was not without its difficulty as the problem had persisted for so long. However, after a 5-hour battle, the medical team at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital successfully removed the blood clots in their legs. The brothers were also excited to tell their family the good news.
I called my mother to tell her that the surgery was a success. She said, "Really?" I could hear her literally jump out of her seat from the excitement.
With further treatments such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, changing their wound dressing, and wearing compression stockings, the Su brothers can look forward to healing the ulcers on their legs and return to life as normal. What are your typical thoughts of vegetarian food, stir-fried vegetables and salad? In our next report, we find out not all vegetarian food are in fact created equal. In Tainan, restaurateur Lai Chunmei turned her Japanese restaurant into one that serves vegetarian Japanese food. And also, Li Jifen, who was a chef in the United States for some 20 years, has opened a restaurant in Taiwan offering American-style vegetarian dishes.
Seaweeds, rice, vegetarian ground meat, eggs, and cucumbers can become tasty vegetarian sushi rolls. This is how Lai Chunmei wins popularity from her customers.
It isn't greasy or salty, and you can taste the original flavor of vegetables.
Everything is quite good.
第一年的时候真的是惨淡经营啊。
I didn't make much in the first year, so I couldn't pay the mortgage. But I persisted, and my daughter and son-in-law also helped me, so I wasn't beaten.
旭的帮忙没有打倒我。
炒饭、炒乌龙面、寿司，还有一个味噌汤。
Despite the setbacks, Lai used the natural flavor of the ingredients to successfully turn the traditional thinking of customers around. Li Jifen flips the dough with her hands. Having worked as the main chef at a Hilton Hotel in the US for 20-odd years, Li looks very friendly now because she doesn't have to cook meat anymore.
With the vegetarian diet, I don't feel burdened at all, since I don't need to kill animals. They have the right to live.
After returning to Taiwan, Li Jifen opened this American vegetarian restaurant. This customer has lived in the US for a while and has been eating vegetarian food for a year. He has finally found the memorable taste.
I hope to eat American vegetarian food in addition to Chinese one.
I like it. It's not salty or plain. She cooks it well.
Li Jifen hopes to use vegetarian pizzas to give different tastes to people who aren't used to eating vegetarian food. Hopefully, they will thus fall in love with vegetarian food. Because eating vegetarian food not only respects life, the food also contains a lot of phytochemicals.
在植化素方面，就是蔬菜的话会比较丰富。
Vegetables have many phytochemicals which are antioxidants. The chemicals can help us fight back chronic disease, cancer, hypertension, or blood fat.
一些营养素，不同植化素它都有一些比较不一样的一些功能。
Vegetarian diet isn't greasy or salty and includes many fibers. The nutritionists suggest we eat vegetables in every color to have a balanced diet.
In today's Tzu Chi 50th anniversary series, we learned that there are different definitions to being a volunteer. Instead of being a volunteer out of obligation or duty, Master Zhenyan asks her disciples to be a volunteer driven by their own aspiration. We now understand exactly what that means through the story of centenarian Wang Chenzhi.
I hope he can do it until he wants to stop. He has been volunteering for a long time, since he was 52 years old.
To be a volunteer means you have decided to take on a responsibility willingly of your own accord. You have made a vow to give yourself for a cause. That is what volunteering is.
Heading south, Wang soon crossed the county line and arrived in Taidong.
在这开会，有啥物代志吼？
有闲无？有无落来无？
无要落来，袂走哩。袂走哩。
师伯，今晚要来的。
安尼去，才我遐有咯。
Though Wang may miss his members sometimes, he continues on undeterred.
你好，你好。你知道他今年几岁了吗？
好像他给我讲100岁哈，不简单，真的不简单。他什么都很清楚哎。
2004。
对啊。
你好，我较少张呢。
对啊，我摕较侪
较侪张。
我摕较侪张啊，我摕一撮互你，你摕较侪互我。
来，go行。
After catching up with an old friend, Wang then heads to his next destination.
你行李哦。
真侪凉诶。
对啊。
好。嘿。
爱钱哦。免啊。
戒严啦！大家遮甲阮敢毋算免戒严者，这我的吗？手机吗？还拢透早头一班车就到阮兜啊。
He always takes the first train of the day to get here from Yili. He comes over on his own. He's really determined. He is really, really wonderful.
啊，你拢无先敲电话？
无啦，我毋是做大官。
啊，你若来伊无伫个要安怎？
行搁行，后摆才搁来啊，有啊呐。
啊，你敢袂伤忝？
袂啦，忝就免做啊。
At one time, Wang had some 4,000 contributing members, which meant he had to travel all across Taiwan to collect his membership fees. The quiet senior doesn't like to preach, but his sons can see his determination.
He has been walking the Tzu Chi path steadily. He has shown us it's the right path. Otherwise, it wouldn't have lasted so long.
The centenarian is a devoted follower of Master Zhenyan, and it is the master's words that motivate him to go forward.
义工虽然是有义务做，但是呢，没有从内心去发动出来，是没有办法很持续的做下去。所以我们就把它改成了志工，是每一个人从内心很诚恳的志愿，从内心发出来的，这就叫做志工。只要他的心有这种的。 花心啊，这花愿啊，他这种的精神呢，都会很永恒的持续下去。
Determined to serve, Wang's aspiration has carried him for nearly half a century, setting an example for all to follow. At Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremonies around the world, many participants not only learn about the charity's work throughout the past year, but also seize the chance to join the ranks of Tzu Chi volunteers. We now return to China to meet some of the participants at the year-end blessing ceremonies in Suzhou of Jiangsu Province, as well as in Dongguan of Guangdong Province.
Upon arriving at Tzu Chi's year-end blessing ceremony in Dongguan, Mr. Liu's family donate their field bamboo coin bank.
I should help other people since I've received help before.
Then another family with 2 children also donate their savings.
He puts his allowance into the coin bank.
These attendees are among the 1,200 participants who have come to the year-end blessing ceremony held at Zhongtang Tzu Chi grounds. In the ceremony, burn victim Ma Hongying takes to the stage to share her story.
We were really depressed initially. Thankfully, through Tzu Chi volunteers' assistance, the child has cheered up and is gradually recovering, so smiles have returned to our faces.
At the blessing ceremony, both the donors and care recipients have felt the warmth of the big Tzu Chi family and will be ready to spread their love.
一鼓震天下，2鼓万事如意，3鼓吉祥漂亮。
At the blessing ceremony in Suzhou, people look like they're returning to their Tzu Chi home.
With my old age, I'd feel cold unless I bring a hot water bag with me. It keeps me warm for 3 hours and does not use electricity.
Having brought filled coin banks with them, the participants then line up to make their donations. Among them, 130 people from Changzhou came because of a Tzu Chi volunteer's invitation.
I told them not to underestimate themselves. A pin a day is a groats a year.
Wu Zhihua actively carries out good deeds because this is what her grandmother taught her. Besides her, other blessing ceremony attendees also seized the occasion to put their love into action, with some of them making a special New Year resolution: become a Tzu Chi volunteer.
In Sanxia of New Taipei City, a junior high student was severely injured in a car accident on his way home before Christmas last year. As many of his neighbors worry for him, they have asked Tzu Chi volunteers to hold a prayer ceremony on this boy's behalf.
At the end of last year, a junior high school student, Xie Zhongyin, was hit by a truck in Sanxia while riding home on a bike. Even till this day, his mother still remembers his first words upon regaining consciousness at ICU.
The fire department saved me. I want to meet the firemen and say thank you.
After his accident, Xie's neighbors were extremely concerned about his conditions. Today they have gathered to pray for him, and his lifesaver also showed up.
The situation was serious, but during our rescue, he was very calm and did not cry.
At the prayer ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers presented a get well card written by many well-wishers. In addition, someone who went through a similar experience and neighbors also took to the stage to encourage Xie.
He helps pick up the balls when his father plays sports. He's a very well-behaved child.
I read in the newspaper that he still remembered to thank other people. He is really well taught.
After the emergency treatment, Xie's right lower leg still had to be amputated. However, everyone is confident that with his optimism, he will make it through the difficult times.
I believe Zhongyin will be able to make it with his personality.
To celebrate Mother's Day, which occurs in Indonesia in December, the Tengkaran Tzu Chi School held an event to honor mothers. The event included a ceremony where students not only had the opportunity to serve their mothers a cup of tea, but also had the chance to reflect on their past misbehaviors. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. See you next time.